there in Hello Chicagoland and everyone on Facebook. Thanks for joining us as we produce the March Knowledge and Share with International Business Development Coach Melissa McSherry. She'll be bringing her 5 simple steps to the fast path to profit and freedom. We're very excited to welcome her. Be sure to visit us again on our Facebook and our Instagram pages at Dynamic Duo Chicago, where we will release her knowledge and share to you in its entirety at a later date. So thank you so much, and let's welcome Melissa McSherry.
Thank you. Hello everyone. My name is Mel McSherry, and as Meg said, I am an international business development coach and speaker. I am so excited to be here today and to share this time with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, I've been an entrepreneur since 2010. However, the last couple of years have been a major development within my business, and a lot of it has to do with these 5 simple steps that I'm going to teach you today. And that's the 5 simple steps to profit and freedom. So how many of you right now are going to bed exhausted, overwhelmed, and wondering where the hell your day went? Well, that's exactly where I was 4 years ago. I was building 2 different businesses at the time. I was also a part-time virtual administrator for an IT company in Dallas. I had a 4-year-old running around, and I was in the beginning stages of my divorce. Needless to say, my plate was just a little full. Now, when I say I was building 2 different businesses, that's actually a little bit of a lie. Because honestly, I was building nothing more than debt, stress, and a bad attitude. And the reason why is because I was putting everybody else's needs before my own. I was putting my clients' needs first because I wanted them to be successful. I put my son's needs first because, well, I just wanted to keep him alive. But with all of that, I was absolutely doing nothing for myself. I was going to bed every single night, so exhausted, wondering how I was so busy throughout the day, yet I was seeing nothing coming back to me, especially nothing that was profitable. So fast forward to one day where I took one small step that changed the entire trajectory of myself and my business. It's so crazy how one small step or one small change in your daily routine can create such an amazing snowball effect. And that day went like this. My IT client had messaged me after I had just perfectly scheduled out my day. I had 45 minutes that I could devote entirely to my 2 businesses. Yeah, 45 minutes, right? Thinking huge. And as I was ready to start my day, my Google Hangouts notification goes off, and I see a question from my IT client that made me cringe. And that question was, can you do me a favor? And that's when you internally go, no, right? Like, you know that this favor has nothing to do with you, and that you know that this favor is going to completely detract your day. So I just said, what's up? And he proceeded to tell me how he needed this massive report due by the end of the day so we could be on track for this huge promotion he was pitching for at the end of the month. Now I knew with every fiber of my being that this actually did not need to be done today. In fact, I knew I could get it done by end of day tomorrow, and we would still be about 2 weeks ahead of time to pitch for this project. I knew that, right? We always know that. But instead of right away telling him what I knew, telling him what I need, and asking for what I want, I started doing that internal Tetris, right? Started rearranging my schedule completely around his request. I was thinking, okay, I could skip lunch. I could sleep 4 hours instead of 3. I've done it before, I can do it again. And I can find time for myself tomorrow. And after going through all of this, I had this major light bulb moment. And it was this small act of just realizing that if I continuously rearrange my priorities to somebody else's request, I am always going to feel this way. And the only way that I'm going to get this trajectory to stop is if I tell people to. If I truly recognize who I am, what I want, and therefore ask for what I need accordingly, according to my priorities and my time. Now that's what I'm saying to myself internally, right? Externally, I'm writing this massively long, apologetic reason of why I'm not gonna get this done today. Like trying to throw everybody under the bus, right? Oh, well, I've got my son and blah, 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 and trying to blame it on everybody else. And when I read it through, I realized that's not me either. That's not the reason. The reason is, I know that it could be done by end of day tomorrow, and I know we will still be ahead of schedule, even if it's done by tomorrow. So I raised that completely long, exploratory, apologetic note, and simply wrote this. I'm all booked up today. I can have it to you by end of day tomorrow, which will still get you 2 weeks ahead of time in regards to the project. If you have any questions, let me know. Send. And then I wanted to throw up. Because I thought I knew exactly how he was going to react. I knew that he was going to think I was incapable of my job, that I was stupid, that he was going to be so mad and he was going to fire me, right? We have these conversations that go in our head all the time. We create such huge monsters in our heads. But the cool thing is because we're the ones that created this monster to begin with. We're also the one that can shine the light under the bed and realize it's nothing but a pair of fuzzy slippers. So that's what I did. I wrote him that explanation, I hit send, and meanwhile, in 0.5 seconds, as this argument is going on in my head, the alarm goes off, and he just simply responds, sounds great, see you tomorrow. Seriously? Like, is it always been that easy? And the thing is, yeah, it really is that easy. However, we tend to make it so hard on ourselves because we feel like that's part of the process. We feel like in order to be successful, we have to be constantly exhausted, constantly overextended, constantly wondering where our day went, because that means we're busy. Yeah, you're busy, all right. How's that bank account looking? Because that's what I was coming to. I was broke and I was exhausted, but I was so busy. But by simply taking that small step and realizing that getting clear on what I want and asking for the time that I have, I was able to achieve things so much faster in my personal life and my professional life. In fact, in the last year, I've nearly tripled my annual income. I've become an international speaker, speaking twice in Ireland, and also become an Amazon best-selling author. All from truly recognizing what I want, taming the time that I have, and prioritizing my business, my profit avenues, and myself correctly. Long story short, my 5 points to creating a true path to profit and freedom. Who would love to go to bed every night feeling successful, fulfilled, and ready for tomorrow? Yeah. And then waking up the next day with a plan of action that is customizable, simple, and profitable. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. As I walk you through my 5-point profit priority plan. Now, point number 1 is kind of a doozy, and it's supposed to be. However, I'm going to instantly show you how these larger questions can be broken down to where you can actually make it a little bit more digestible, as well as how you can instantly apply it to where you are now. Because the big picture is scary, right? We know the big picture. We get lost in the big picture. In fact, we get so lost in the big picture, we never really fully take steps towards it. We just look at it and wait for it to show up. And how many people do you think have been successful in their businesses by just waiting for stuff to show up? If you know that person, let me know, because I would love to chat with them. Because at the end of the day, it's not true. At the end of the day, we all have a true north. We all have something that we are crystal clear on, and we are crystal clear on this. What do I want? Not what does your child want? Not what does your partner want? Not what your colleague wants. What do you want? And to make sure that this question doesn't automatically set you into an anxious spiral, I want you to think about this question. And if you have time, write it down right now as I'm talking. If you don't, write it down and you can fill it in later. What do you want within your business in the next 6 months? And let me give you a hint, there better be a number in there. If you don't have a financial number in there, think of one. Doesn't matter the how. Don't get caught up on that. Don't instantly judge yourself by what you deserve or what you think you're worth. Write it down. What do you want to create within your business in 6 months? Because this question is what's going to get you through this every single day. Because the reason why we tend to get lost as business owners or entrepreneurs is because we have a vague idea of what we want. And because we have that vague idea, we jump full-fledged, right? We launch our ideas, we talk to everybody, we say yes to everything, and all of a sudden, 6 months later, we are exhausted, overwhelmed, and have absolutely no money in the bank. Is that sounding familiar? It happens. Don't worry, it happens to all of us, right? It happened to me until I actually started recognizing, what do I want? Because that is your true north. That is going to ensure that you are truly making decisions that are aligned with who you are, aligned with what you want, so then you can create the business and the money and the life you want in the time that you have. Now, also getting clear on what you want helps with one other massive problem, which we also think is kind of a rite of passage. And that problem is procrastination. Hi, my name is Mel. I am a recovering procrastinator, right? Swear to God. It's still one of those things that I try to go through every single day. But when you get crystal clear on what you want, then you start recognizing where you're spending your time. And when you start recognizing where you spend your time, you start seeing what actually becomes profitable instead of procrastination. There's actually 2 ways that you can procrastinate. There is the subconscious way and the conscious way. Now, the subconscious way is when you align yourself or say yes to a request that is not in line with what you want. Ooh, see how that already starts coming into play here? Now, I want you to think about this. How many times have you said yes to something that was not aligned with what you wanted to do for yourself that day? I want you to take that one step further. I actually want you to do this as an exercise. Take a couple of minutes. Actually, you don't even need a couple minutes because I'm sure you already know where you're spending your time. But I want you to write down, in the last week, how much time did you spend on other people's requests that had absolutely nothing to do with your business? Now, it's okay if you take care of your children and do things with your partner. That's a necessity, right? That's where legalities come in. But when was the time when you took yourself away from your business so you could accomplish something for somebody else? Take a minute and write that down. We're going to come back to that number in a second, so don't forget about it. Now, when it comes to procrastination, once we get crystal clear on what we want or what I want within our businesses, now here comes the next step. Tame your time. You have full say on how you spend the time that you have. I know you're probably rolling your eyes, saying, well, no, Mel, you don't know me, you don't know my life, I've got all these things and blah, blah, and all of this stuff is out of my control. There are very few things, I will agree, there are very few things that you cannot control. However, there is also still time left over that you can fully control. There is always time left in your day that you have full say on how you spend it. But that also can be a sense of procrastination. There's so many times we get stuck in routines, right? We get caught up in a routine of even simple things. I was talking to one of my clients, and we were looking at her schedule, and I said, well, what about Thursday night? Can you do things on Thursday night? She goes, no, it's date night with my partner. I'm like, oh, great, what do you do? She's like, oh, we actually just sit on the TV, we just have the TV on sitting next to each other or on our phones. I go, okay. Is that something that really is non-negotiable for you two? Do you feel like this is something that is elevating your relationship or supporting your relationship? She goes, no, we just always do it because we've always done it. I said, it's okay, if it's not really that important, what can you be doing on your phone? Could you do XYZ on your phone super quick since you guys are both on your phone? Or do you make that a non-negotiable to where you guys don't have your phones and you go do something else, like go for a walk? You make it kind of shorter. You make it more laser focused. You're gonna hear that word a ton. You make it more concise on what you want out of that time so then you can spend the time that you have left on your priorities. It's those little mind flips that rob us of our day all the time, but it's things that we just instantly think of. How many of you right now are waking up going, fuck, how am I supposed to get this all done today? Like looking at your schedule, already stressed out, racking your brain, wondering how you're gonna get this all done today. How about this? Instead of looking at your schedule and going, God, how am I gonna get this all done today? Look at it more as, okay, this is how much time I have. What can I do with that time today? Ooh, what can you do? What do you want? Oh, see how that happens? It all comes back to that. You have full say on how you spend the time that you have. However, you won't spend it correctly until you know what you want. That comes back to procrastination. We're gonna touch more on that as well, but here's another quick exercise to really show you how procrastination robs you from your bottom line. Ready for this? This is my favorite exercise. So the first one, we wrote down how much time you spent last week doing deeds for somebody else that was taking you away from your job, right? Your subconscious procrastination. Now we're gonna talk about your conscious. How much time did you spend last week, so that same week, on doing things like mindlessly scrolling Facebook, posting on Instagram for longer than 5 minutes? How long did you spend literally looking at your to-do list and not doing it? We've all done that, right? We've sat there for 10 minutes going, I should do this. Oh, look, dishes. Or I need to do this. Or, oh, wait, what's this shiny thing over here, right? We get like squirrel vision. How much time? Write it down. Because this is where it's gonna get interesting. Now add those two numbers together. That's how much time you are robbing of yourself every single week. I'm assuming it's a pretty good amount of time. So I can see faces. They're scared.
Oh yeah. Better not.
Right? But here's the thing, I'm not telling you to completely stop doing anything fun or anything outside of your business. That's not the point of this. The point of this is for you to create the business, the money, and the life you want, and the time that you have, to prioritize yourself correctly. That includes having a life. We can have a whole nother discussion about the hustle, which I think actually is your next knowledge and share, so stay tuned for that. But what I'm saying is, even just by taking a quarter of that, how much more could you do with that much more time in your day? Because you have it. Now let's do even something more fun. I want you to take that time and times it by how much you charge an hour. Ooh, yeah. One client, when she was sitting in my talk before she came on, we realized she was negating $175,000 from her bottom line. That's not in a month. Granted, that's a full year, because we can make it scarier, right? So that's 1 week, times that by 4, that's a month. Times that by 12, that's a year. That's how much money you are robbing yourself from your bottom line. Now again, not all of that is going to magically appear by doing these 5 simple steps, but what it is going to do is you're gonna start seeing that return to you. So instead of going to bed exhausted and overwhelmed and poorer than you were the day before, you go to bed excited, fulfilled, with a little bit of money in your bank account. And it just grows, right? It's the little things you do every day that make the biggest difference, and it starts with taming your time. That is impossible to do unless you first know what you want. So we've got what we want. We're looking at the time that we have. Let's keep moving forward, because the next part is how we're going to shift that time. This is where the to-do list comes into play. The massive to-do list. Everybody's like friend and foe at the exact same time. I have a love, not love, relationship with a to-do list. I love it because that helps you truly tame the time that you have according to what you want. As I tell my clients all the time, you have to schedule your priorities, not prioritize your schedule. But that first comes to know what you want, recognizing the time that you have, and then from there, what of your tasks fit within that timeline. For those of you that have more than 10 things on your to-do list, I'm already telling you that's not going to cut it. 3. A whopping 3. Maybe 5 at the most should be on your do or die list every single day. Because everything else just becomes a procrastination device. There's that word, procrastination. Happens all the time. But again, these are subconscious ways that we don't know about it, and that's why I'm bringing it to your attention. So your to-do list. How many of you write your to-do list the following? Contact 5 clients, shoot at 10 emails, finalize contract, walk the dog, do the dishes, go grocery shopping. Right? We combine the two. Which ones do we do first? Well, I might as well just walk the dog, and then I'll do the dishes, and then I'll go grocery shopping. And you have that sense of being productive, right? Are you being profitable? Is that action making you money today? Because last time I checked, dogs don't pay the bills. You know you have to walk the dog. You know you have to go grocery shopping. You know these things. You're going to start getting hungry. The dishes are going to start smelling. You really don't need those on your list. What you need on your list is just those top 3. Eat those frogs first. If you haven't read Eat That Frog, and I'm totally spacing on the author, you need to. Because by doing those things that actually scare you just a little bit first, that gives you so much more time and energy the rest of the day. When you make that one scary step, and it can be a little step, but something that is bringing you forward into your business, that makes you want to do more. It's that not only that sense of being productive, which we all love, right? Crossing that thing off the list is the best thing ever. But you get to cross that thing off your list and then add a little money into your bank account. I'll take that one any day. So when it comes to prioritizing your tasks, I want you to really look at how much time do you have to devote to these tasks. If they're overwhelming, if they're massive, if they're too big to where you don't even want to handle it, just like breaking down this question, you can break down your priorities. So maybe it is you want to launch a workshop. That's a big step. So what's the first thing? Let's figure out topics. So step number 1 is brainstorming topics. Then after that, who do those topics connect to? Then after that, what is it that you want to solve for those people within those topics? And that can be a step-by-step process. We are such an all or nothing community, it's insane. We think that by having a business idea, again, like I said in the beginning, we're just gonna launch right forward and everything's just gonna come right through, right? We're gonna figure it all out. We will. But you have to prioritize those steps in order to truly create what you want, or else it's just gonna be this total hodgepodge of noise. So by getting crystal clear on what you want, taming the time that you have, then you start prioritizing your time. So it's like a game, Tetris. This is what I want to accomplish today. This is how much time I have. I'm going to fit these actions into this time frame. And guess what? I know things go wonky. As a special needs mom, trust me, I know things go wonky in a heartbeat. And that's okay. But what's not okay is using that as an excuse to just think your entire day is screwed. Your entire day is not screwed if one thing changes it up. Like I said in the beginning, you still have full say on the time you have left. Now it's just rearranging your priorities to the time that you have. So you can do what you want. See how this is creating? It's this constant circular movement that you can always come back to and customize. And that's the next step. Customize your calendar. The thing that I love about this quote-unquote system is that it's not really a system. It's customizable. You can structure it or unstructure it as much as you need to or want to or you connect to. You are a person by design, right? You have a way of doing things by design. We all do. And it's so funny when people think that these books who tell you how to do things, if you don't apply every single step, then you fail. The thing is not all of these are good for you. Not all of these are right for you. But bits and pieces are. So by correlating that to what you want and the time that you have, then you start customizing your calendar correctly to whatever gets in your way. My client Stephanie is an amazing, amazing travel agent. Her speciality is she creates these one-of-a-kind experiences overseas, not only as an outside provider, but she also does tours. Like she takes people on these amazing trips. And last summer, she was in a little bit of a panic. She realized that she committed to 3 trips overseas, which means that she would only be able to work 50 out of the next 120 days. As a business owner, that's scary, right? You've got bills to pay. It's all about momentum. And she was so worried that she wasn't gonna be able to get what she wanted out of the time that she had. So here's what we did. We walked her through this. Okay, what do you want in the next 50 days? And we made a goal of hitting 2K a month because that would keep her on her minimum. So from there, we looked at how many days she had to work, prioritized those tasks to that time that she had, so that way she could go away to Iceland, Scotland, and the UK without having to worry about it. She had a system in place. She had the next 50 days planned out. And every single month when we met, we just reshifted. We saw what worked, we saw what didn't, we saw what time she had, we saw her priorities. You know, this is how I work, this is how I coach, this is how I help people create the business, the money, and the life that they want. Well, unfortunately, she didn't hit 2K each month. She hit 4.5K per month. She actually hit her target in month 1, actually middle of month 2, and the rest was just bonus money, while still enjoying her trips, not being stressed, not being overwhelmed, not enjoying and being present with where she was right now. She had a plan of action that was according to what she wanted in the time that she had, and just prioritized correctly. See how simple it is? We try to make this so hard, and it really is this simple. We've got to give ourselves permission to work it. We've got to give ourselves permission to realize, yeah, it's simple. Stop reinventing the wheel. Trust me, we've all tried it. It doesn't work. The people that you look at, that you truly identify with, that you want to aspire to be, are because they are super laser focused on what they want. They are super, super laser focused on where they spend their time and who they spend it with. That's not being selfish. It's being smart. It's helping you, it's helping your energy, it's helping your business. This is a holistic plan, you guys. This isn't just to make millions of dollars in less amount of time. Granted, that's definitely one of the goals, I'm sure. But that's not the point. The point is for you to create what you want in the time that you have, while still enjoying most of the journey. There's always going to be rough patches, but always having that true north. So here comes the last step. This is the doozy. This is the one that separates the men from the boys, if you want to call it that. The successful from the not successful. Action. Putting it into action. I know. It's such a light bulb moment. But you will be amazed how many people don't do this step. They do all of this, and then the action part, they're like, well, I was going to. Or I was going to start that on Monday. I don't know why people thought Monday was like the best thing to start something. Or I'm going to start the first of the year. No, start today, right now. putting it into action. Because these steps are simple. I'm not asking you to completely reshift your frame of mind. Kind of asking you to do that, but I know it's not going to happen today, and that's okay. But what I am asking you to do is give yourself permission to figure out what you need to flip in order for you to create the business, the money, and the life that you want. To recognize where are you spending your time and what small things can you do to shift that. What can you say no to? Because that's how I started. I started by saying no. One of my favorite quotes from John Maxwell. Always, you need to say no to the good so you can say yes to the best. Right there. You're not negating somebody by saying no. You're not being selfish. You're not missing out on opportunities, because if these are true opportunities that are going to create what you want, then it's a no-brainer. But if you're walking into a situation, if you're walking into your day, if you're walking into your business, constantly worried, constantly stressed out, constantly wondering where your time is gone, then that stops right now. So with these tools, you guys have a little bit of homework today. I want you, when you go home, to look at your schedule for the rest of the week. And I want you to make goals for yourself. What do you want to accomplish in your business by the end of this week? Look how much time you have, and start making those task lists accordingly. So, really simple. What do you want this week? How much time do you have to devote to what you want? What tasks do you need to do in order to be successful in the time that you have? And not every day is going to be perfect. Know that. Know that some days you're going to be able to cross off 5 things. Know some days you're only going to cross off 1. Customize it to your calendar, and then put it into action. Put up those boundaries. Say no. Turn off those notifications. I can go to a whole other talk about boundaries and notifications. But you need to set those for yourself. You need to prioritize yourself, your time, and your profit avenues correctly, so you can create the business and the money and the life that you want fast. So I want to say thank you so much for every single one of you who joined me today, for those of you who are watching. It's been so fun to share with you these 5 simple steps. There's a couple of things. I'm not going to leave you running. I'm not one of those people that's just going to give you all this stuff and then run away. I would love to stay connected to you. There are several ways that you can stalk me and stalk away. I have my websites, my Instagram, my LinkedIn, and my email. There's also a bonus thank you. For those of you who have attended today, and for those of you who are watching, I want you to go to my websites. And right at the top, there is my 13 prioritization checklist. This is complimentary. And what this isn't like 13 steps you have to add on to the other 5. I'm not like masochist. But what it is it's ways for you to check in with yourself. Each of those 13 steps are spaces where you're going to find obstacles, where you're going to get stuck, where you're going to need clarification. And that's what those 13 steps are for, is to look at where are you at, which one resonates with you, and then what's the correlating action you can do to get past it. Because I am here for you 100%, no matter if I see you again or I never see you a day in my life. But do know that you have full say on how you spend the time that you have, because you are the singular most important person in your business and in your life.